Outdoor Center, the Flemington Mall. Hello again, everybody. This is Mike Pulowski along with my broadcast partner, Bob Pearson, in the Channel 8 crew here at Hillsborough High School, where the Hillsborough Raiders will be taking on the undefeated Franklin Warriors. Bob, a game today on paper. Can't really compare these two teams. It's all in favor of Franklin. Franklin undefeated 4-0. Hillsborough comes in at 2-2, but a strange season. Teams getting upset here and there. Franklin, the only undefeated team left in the Mid-State Conference. In my opinion, Franklin can play an ordinary game and beat Hillsborough today. For Hillsborough to win, they will have to play their best, and Franklin will have to have a bad game. Your opinion?
Well, Michael, I'll tell you, we're in the Mid-State Conference, and as you pointed out, Franklin is the only remaining undefeated team, only because Piscataway fell to North Hunterdon this morning, 20-0. Now, you look at the action last night in the Mid-State. Voorhees beats Hunterdon Central. Who'd have figured that one out, really, when you think about it? Upsets all over the place. Hillsborough's the kind of team that can pull the upset. Some people in the local newspaper say that Hillsborough plays to its level of competition. Against North Hunterdon, they certainly showed that they can move the football and they can score. Now, Franklin comes in with a ground control game. They don't like to pass the ball that much, and a big factor for Franklin is Kevin Arline. Their outstanding a linebacker and offensive tackle will not see action today. So it's very difficult to put a handle on where this game is going to end up. I'll tell you one thing, Hillsborough needs to stay alive if they have any shot at a playoff picture. Franklin, obviously, with 4-0 right now, can stand to lose one, maybe one game, and still make the playoffs. Lenny Rivers definitely doesn't want to see a loss today. I think he feels the club was a little flat in the second half against Bridgewater East last week, even though they came out 33-15 on top of East. Should be interesting to see how they come into it. We saw some trick plays out of Hillsborough when they played North Hunterdon. I think Joe Paulino really has no choice but to throw the ball today. And Franklin does have an outstanding pass defense when the kids are up and ready to play. So it's one of those games, you know, we sat here and we thought North Hunterdon would walk all over Hills to a degree. Didn't happen. So it's really difficult to put a handle on this, and we'll just have to see how it goes along with the fans.
Well, it should be a good matchup in terms of two excellent coaching staffs, two teams that are neighbors, a long tradition of playing between these two teams. Franklin, a ball control ground game team. Hillsborough, a big play team that will go to the air. So we're expecting a good contest. We'll be back to open it up after this brief intermission.
Nolde's Pianos and Organs for keyboards, lessons, pianos, and clocks. Nolde's in the Hunterdon Shopping Center, Flemington, 782-5400.
The Flemington Mall on Route 202 has it all in 36 exciting stores. Stop in at Merle Norman, the place for the custom face. Sherman & Sons Jewelers has elegant and distinctive jewelry. Fashion Bug is one of the largest retail stores for women's clothing. Pickwick Village has Lenox China and Hallmark cards and motion ornaments. Samesies is a full-line men's store with today's fashions. Breyer's Ice Cream Parlor has all-natural Breyer's ice cream. Visit the Flemington Mall, just north of the Flemington Circle, because we have it all.
Walt's Outdoor Center, Larison Lane, Ringo's, has some outstanding values on lawnmowers by Simplicity and Honda. Whether you need a riding mower or a top-quality push mower, now is the time to see Walt's and get to know the man who stands behind everything he sells and services. Walt's also features snowmobiles, chainsaws, Honda generators, and so much more. Take 202 South or 514 West and get a great deal on a new lawnmower at Walt's Outdoor Center, Larison Lane, Ringo's, 782-5654.
Okay, after the national anthem back here at Hillsborough High School, up in the Windy City press box, A beautiful afternoon for football. Mike Pulowski with Bob Pearson in the Cable 8 crew. We're expecting an interesting contest as the officials are out on the field, the co-captains for the two teams. For the Franklin Warriors, Kevin Arline and Eddie Daniels. What's the matter?
Oh.
Losing my mind here.
How fast we forget.
For the Hillsborough Warriors, the co-captains are Pete Tardy and Garrett Herbst. As you take a look at the Hillsborough sidelines, as we talked about, Bob, should be an interesting game in terms of contrast. Hillsborough will probably come out throwing. We'll see a lot of trick stuff out of them. Probably see some reverses, a halfback pass.
Well,
We'll keep it on the ground and see, punch it in there.
Well, you're right. Franklin meat and potato offense is really on the ground. They showed that last week against East. East cut the score down to 21-15 with about 6 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Franklin had looked flat offensively. They had their 21 points in the first half. But when the pressure was on, they did about a 78-yard march on the ground all the way. Punched it out, just went in and scored and put East on the ropes. And then, of course, Tequil Shorts intercepted a pass in that fourth quarter to make the score 33-15. East a tough ball club, though. You got to give them a lot of credit. The record wouldn't reflect it. But, boy, they do play tough. And they had Somerville going right down to the last quarter last night in Somerville. Pioneers on top last night, 21-7.
Of course, the Franklin Warriors, coached by their longtime and very successful coach, Len Rivers, his assistants, Al Heading, the defensive coach, Al Ray, Rich Zapala, Steve Foster, and Gerald Martin, who just came past us in the press box up here. For the Hillsborough Raiders, of course, head coach Joe Polino, who also had a great deal of success. Hillsborough originally from the Mountain Valley Conference, where they went to the state playoffs a number of times, very successful there. He's assisted by Fred Kuiper, Bob Zwerko, Otto Gazelle, Fred Monjoy, and Tom DeMarco.
You know, Mike, we talk about the fact that when you look at the newspapers and the procrastinators who say that Franklin should win by anywhere from 21 to God knows what, interestingly enough, there's been so many upsets, not only in the mid-state this year, but around the central Jersey area. You know, who would have thunk that Ridge would have beat Immaculata, but they turned around and not only did they beat them handily a few weeks back. So, to me, you know, you can try and do comparative analysis of who scores how many points against who else, and then try to get an idea of what the game should come out like. I think you can throw that away in the mid-state. We've seen it too many times, and that's been one of the hallmarks of mid-state conference football. And it's the old adage, anybody can beat anybody on a given day. We've seen it so many times, and we've had the toss of the coin.
And I think Franklin won and deferred, and Hillsborough elected to receive. Franklin get the ball in the second period, I think, is what happened. I wasn't sure we were talking.
And Michael's absolutely right. The Franklin Warriors will be kicking off. Hillsborough receiving to our left. There's a look at the Hillsborough cheerleaders. Calm and quiet right now, but the action hasn't picked up yet. Kicking off for Franklin will be number 85. That's Reggie Scott. You just We're just about ready for the kickoff. Officials give the word that it's okay.
I'll take it. Yes. I have some mics.
We're underway. Reggie Scott with the kickoff. Drops down at about the 20-yard line. There it's taken by number 82 Tardy, who hands it back to 43. I believe that is Gary Yagello. Yagello gets it out to about the 30-yard line. Check that 28-yard line. The Raiders will be in business, 1st and 10 at their own 28.
Okay, Bob, I'm not sure whether I'm on or not. Had a little bit of mic problems here. Brought up a new mic, so hopefully people are hearing what I'm saying. Down in the truck, Jim, if they are, give me a nod.
Well, I hear you, Mike, so what the heck.
Okay. Hillsborough will take the ball. 1st and 10. The ball spotted about the 27-yard line. Blandino at quarterback. Yagello Here we see a reverse pass, right? Scott Huff to throw, looking for his man who's tardy, knocked down. Good play by number 30 of the Franklin Warriors.
That's David Clark, who made the key defensive play for Franklin on that first series for the Raiders. Franklin's passing defense a little suspect based upon how well Grant did for East last week against them. He passed for about 120, ran for about 60 or 70 yards. So Grant showed that the Warriors' defense is susceptible to pass, but not the classic drop-back passer, though.
Hillsborough to a bit of chicanery early in the contest here. Blandino to throw again, has his man over the middle. Ball dropped, fumbled, picked up by Franklin, still in play, no whistle. Franklin's ball at the 24-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's just an outstanding, heads-up defensive play by Franklin. Loose ball in the secondary, they pick it up, they move it. They're in a great field position, and we promised some people who talked to us during the week last week we wouldn't use the word astounding at all. We will not say outstanding for the rest of the coverage, I promise you.
Blandino's pass complete there to 83 Dennis Turner, who fumbled the ball, picked up by the Franklin Warriors. Let's put it in play. Their quarterback, Elvis Lindsay. Take a look at a first down from about 31-yard line. Franklin Warriors first possession, handoff inside. Pick up about 4 ball carry there.
It is about 4 to play. Ball being placed down on the 15-yard, 26-yard line.
Sims has been out, Mike. I don't know if he's back for today's game or not. It looked like it was number 22 or 25, either Mike Thomas or DeKeel Shorts for the Warriors. This time it's Thomas, and he's up to the middle and stopped cold.
Number 53 on the tackle. Little or no gain on play. Be third down and a long kick.
It'll bring up a third down at about 6 for the Warriors. Goes wide left, in motion to the right. Lindsay with a fake handoff, rolls to his left, looking into the end zone. Even on the ball, cuts it up the middle, down to about the 15-16-yard line.
Lindsay on the carry. Tackled by number 53 of Hillsborough. Yard out.
Okay, now I'm all set here. Some quick mic repairs. Again, a little bit of technical difficulties here this time. Early going. 10:09 to go, first period action, 0-0 the score. Hillsborough with their back up against it. Franklin with a first down at the 17-yard line. Kelvin Lindsay, quarterback, hands off, 25 to Thomas. Michael Thomas hit at the line of scrimmage, bounces all the way down inside the 5.
Thomas on the carry to the 5-yard line of the Raiders. First to go to goal for the Raiders.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage, rolled off the tackle, and then took it up to about the...
Ball being placed down at the 3-yard line of the Hillsborough Raiders.
Goal for the Warriors.
Hillsborough quickly up against it here. Try to set the defense and offensive line when we have a moment. Not a chance just yet. Lindsay hands off inside. Thomas smashes through. Touchdown Franklin. Early going. 6-0 Warriors lead.
Well, it's only 9:32 in the first quarter, and Franklin's on the board already. And if you believe in omens, I think Joe Paulino probably was saying, well, how far can this one go?
Things going a little rough up here in the booth as we're having a little bit of trouble with our microphones. Mike Thomas, 9:32 of the first period. 3-yard run. On the kick, 22 Shorts. It's up and good.
Number 22 is the point answer, and it's 7-0.
Bob, that was a case of Hillsborough going to the trick play, not working, coming back to the pass, making a completion, and a hard hit from the Franklin defense, which you've been talking about all season long, the hard-hitting defense, and Hillsborough giving up the ball.
Well, Mike, you're right. The defense made the opportunity to go there. Actually, the play for Hillsborough was a good play. It's just that the receivers didn't hold on to the ball.
Seven 7-0 Warriors up. Back deep for Hillsborough, 83 Tardy. 82 Tardy and 24 Flanagan. Our technical crew, Bill Stout, getting his exercise today as the kick goes past Flanagan, a free ball into the end zone. And a whistle. I thought he touched it also as we're talking up here, and no, it'll be a touchback. Folks, I want to tell you what, we're going through all kinds of troubles here with our microphones up in the booth.
Personal foul?
And as we talked about in the past, you have to climb up this long ladder for Hillsborough.
What happened? Somebody touch the amp over there? Okay. You touch the amp?
7-0. Warriors up. Mike Thomas scored a 3-yard run early.
See me in the wires back.
It's the Halloween jinx a week early up here. Okay, Hillsborough starting up against it at the 10-yard line after a penalty and a whistle from an official as we have a long time getting play started here.
Turn the master down, Dave. Turn the master. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
Okay, Franklin Warriors fairly in control here. A slow starting game. The officials are sorting things out. I want to run down some of the players for Hillsborough. 41 is Dave Patrick. He's to the right. 65, Jess Savar. Tardy in motion. Blandino looks over the defense. He's back to pass. He looks for Flanagan. Intercepted in the middle. 75 with the interception for the Franklin Warriors.
75. Touchdown Warriors.
And according to my roster, 75 is Robert Brent, his number was changed to 72. So we will call it 75. 25 on the number 25 on the interception for the Franklin Warriors.
That was Mike Thomas for the Warriors, who kicked it off in the linebacking position. Shorts in for the extra point. It's good. Franklin goes up 14-6.
Goes the extra point, and we have a score of 14-6. They are the Franklin Warriors.
We're going to take a look at that interception by Mike Thomas, number 25 for the Warriors. Actually, we're going to watch the officials. Here we go. We picked it up a little earlier than we expected. Blandino back to pass, throws it over the middle. Thomas with an outstanding leap, brings it down. Now watch the footwork of Mike Thomas as he goes to work. And why he is the most outstanding one we've seen in the Somerset County area and considered to be the top of the state this year. Number 3 at the Penn State football camp this summer.
With 9:23 to go, Franklin is up 14-0. Mike Thomas has 2 touchdowns, number 25. An interception and a fumble reception gives Franklin an early and comfortable lead. Thomas, number 2 in the scoring race, and an onside kick, fumbled, a free ball. Finally, someone from Hillsborough falls on it. I tell you, that was an outstanding onside kick.
Well, Franklin obviously not going out conservatively after that touchdown. They tried the outside kick, trying to put this one away real early. And as I said, Lenny Rivers I'm sure he didn't come out and say he was disappointed with last week's game, but the Warriors got a little flat last week. And I'm sure Lenny doesn't want that to happen this week.
42 Scott Huff on the ball. Handoff inside. Ugello, he has room on the outside. Picks up a first down. Good run. Tackled there by number 4, Eddie Daniels.
Eddie Daniels, Dave Clark for the Warriors.
Folks, I want to try to explain what's going on. We're having a heck of a time. Technically up here, our microphones aren't working. The Franklin roster, which I'm trying to pick out, is not numbered consecutively. There's numbers all over, so I'm having a hard time picking up the players. Hopefully we'll get this sorted out as the game goes on. Blandino hands off to Huff inside. He scrambles for about 6. Brought down by 25, Mike Thomas, with help there by number 44. And that's Ethan Jackson. Checking in for the Hillsborough Raiders, 41, Dave Patrick. Raiders come over the ball as you take a look at number 62, Bob Spinelli. Quarterback, Dominic Blandino. Inside handoff to Huff. And he's tackled there by number 44, Ethan Jackson, for no gain. Good play on the defense. That'll bring up a second down and about 6. As my partner, Bob Pearson, is without a mic temporarily, which is why you don't hear his comments. We'll get it sorted out. Halloween a week early as Blandino looks over a 3rd down and 7. Ball spotted at the 45. He's back to pass. He looks. He has his man. Complete there to Scott Huff.
Mike Thomas on
Tackled there by Mike Thomas, who has 2 touchdowns on the afternoon. To recap, Hillsborough got the ball early, had a pass complete, was coughed up. Franklin took it in. Thomas running it in from the 3-yard line. Hillsborough on the kickoff had a penalty. Started from the 15. Blandino back to pass, intercepted by Thomas. An outstanding run, as I'm saying outstanding again, to take the ball into the end zone. Franklin up with 7:24 to go here in the first period from Hillsborough High, 14-0 over the Raiders. Raiders finally sustaining some kind of a drive, keeping the ball on the ground, but the Franklin defense very tough. As you take a look at the measurement on the sidelines, it's short. Less than a yard. About a yard. That'll bring up a 4th down for Hillsborough. Hillsborough going for it on 4th down and short. And they need it as we have 7:27 to go here. Mike Pulowski doing a solo to Bob Pearson, can get a mic. Handoff inside, fight for the ball. Looks like Hillsborough will have the first. Ball carrier was Ugello. In on the tackle for the Franklin Warriors, number 51. Ugello, the ball carrier. I'll tell you, folks, I'm having a heck of a time with this Franklin roster. Marcus Trent, the carrier, the tackler. The problem is I start with 70 and go 78, 13, 11, 31, 69, which is kind of tough when you have to scan down 60 players. As you take a look at the Hillsborough offense, Blandino with a first down, ball spotted at about the 48-yard line in Franklin territory. Franklin defense yet to really be tested. Blandino hands off Huff. looks for a running room, picks up about 3. Tackled by number 31 for the Franklin Warriors, Dwight Britton. That'll bring up a second down and a long 7. Patrick is right for the Raiders, goes in motion left. Tardy is split. Blandino back to pass, looks right, has a man over the middle. He's going for Tardy. Ball overthrown, and a flag is going to be thrown against number 4 of the Franklin Warriors. I'll tell you what, not much of interference, but he did bump him.
Official on top of the play, Michael, that was Eddie Daniels, and it really was almost incidental contact. Hard to believe they threw the flag, but they did, and that gives Hillsborough first down, and probably the best field position they've had undoubtedly so far in the game.
Truly was a lucky break as they're throwing up here. What happened is the ball was thrown to the inside. Daniels had him covered well to the outside. As Tardy tried to turn and come back to the ball, he bumped into Daniels.
Right.
Daniels just impeded his progress.
He also got in his way.
Kind of. Okay, we have our technical difficulties sorted out. Now let's see if Hillsborough can sort out their on-the-field difficulties. They are in good field position with a first down at the 30-yard line. They are down 14 to zip. Franklin striking quickly in the first period. 6:31 to go in this first period. Franklin ranked highly in the state by all the newspapers in the tri-state area, number 20.
Have a timeout for the Hillsborough Raiders. Talk a little bit about Franklin's ranking. They're ranked number 3 in the Newark Star Ledger this week. The Daily Home News New Brunswick has them ranked number 1, but WCTC Radio has them ranked number 4. So as far as polls go, the only good reason polls exist is for the people who pick them and the fans who want to believe in them.
As we take a look at some of the people on hand here at Hillsborough, the Hillsborough Band. A great afternoon for football. I'm kind of surprised not many people out here for the game. This morning you were over at Piscataway North Hunter, and you said not much of a crowd there. That was a big game.
No, it sure was. That was a big Delaware game, division game this morning, and most of the people that we talked to over there were commenting about how disappointed they were with the lack of people on both sides of the field. North Hunter not represented very well, neither were the Chiefs of Piscataway. No excuses, folks. Rutgers is up at Army. They're not even anywhere near in town. Can't imagine why they're not out.
Sorry, Bob. On the sidelines, Fred Kuiper, assistant coach here at Hillsborough, who played his high school football over at Somerville. There you see Joe Polino. Now we're ready for action on the field as the Hillsborough Raiders break the huddle with a first down at the 30. Blandino at quarterback. Patrick split right. Tardy left. Ugello and Huff, the running back. The ball goes to Ugello. He punches into the line, bumps into his guard. Running behind number 64, Jeff Adair.
51, Marcus Trent. 44, Ethan Jackson for the Warriors. In on the stop. It'll bring up a second down. Raiders are looking at 6 yards. 6:12 to go in the first quarter.
Raiders having a decent drive here, mixing the ball, going to the air. No tricky stuff this time. Mixing their plays well. Blandino looks for Turner, goes over the middle. Tardy, nice catch. Still on his feet. Tardy spinning towards the goal line. The ball at about the 9-yard line.
Almost said it again, Mike. Super catch by Tardy over the middle. Not only remarkable was the catch, the fact he had to go up in the air to bring it down. The run afterwards was just as equally well done. He spun off 2 tackles, got it inside the 5-yard line, just nosed it in there.
An equally good job by the quarterback, Blandino. Tardy not his primary receiver. He looked, I believe, towards Turner, 83. He was well covered. Looked back in the middle, found Tardy. Good catch. And the Raiders with a first down at about the 10. 5:31 to go. Blandino looks, has his man Tardy. Nice catch again. Inside the 5, still on his feet, fighting for yardage at about the 4-yard line.
Tardy put a nice move on Reggie Scott for the Warriors. Took him out, took him back in the middle again, and Mike Thomas and David Clark came over to cover on the tackle.
Mike Thomas, who has 2 touchdowns, outstanding game for him, gives Pete Tardy a little pat for that nice catch.
Yeah, it's nice to see the kind of recognition that the athletes have for one another. Not only the appreciation that the fans and everyone else shows.
Well, these are well-coached teams. Big game, an interdivision game, not a game that counts really in the division standings.
But it is important for the Raiders as far as playoff hopes are concerned.
And very important for the Warriors looking to stay undefeated. Blandino looks, slants it, almost intercepted. Great effort.
85, Reggie Scott for the Warriors read that all the way, and I think he saw goal line before he had the ball in his hands, and unfortunately couldn't hold on for Franklin. Fortunately for Hillsborough, though, they've got 2 more cracks to get in that end zone from the 5-yard line. I'll make it the 4-yard line.
Reggie Scott, 85, a noted hitter in the Mid-State Conference. Very tough, hard-nosed player. That would have been 95 yards and 6 more.
Oh, yeah, he was ready to roll with that one. Unfortunately, you got to have the ball before it counts the points.
That brings up a 3rd down and goal, 4:41 to go in the first period. Warriors out in front, 14-0. Blandino looks, rolls, has a man to the corner. Pass there, touchdown. Nice job.
Outstanding call by the Raiders as they took Franklin wide on the coverage. 82, Pete Tardy, Mr. Hands, able to hang on to it on a diving catch on the left side of the field. And that puts 6 points up for the Raiders, and it makes the score a little bit more balanced with 4:35 to go in the first quarter.
That was a nice drive by the Hillsborough Raiders, mixed their plays well. Tardy, the leading TD pass catcher in the conference. Blandino, the leading TD pass tosser. And Tardy's kick is up, and it is good. And we have a 7-14 game.
On a replay, Blandino looking way outside. Tardy with a diving catch. And you know the results after that.
Actually, Bob, we haven't really seen much of the Franklin offense or defense yet. Franklin's 2 scores coming on those big turnovers. It could be an interesting contest. Although Franklin, where it's going to really show in this contest, as far as I'm concerned, will be late in the second half when Franklin's big, strong offensive linemen will really start seeing what the Raider linemen are actually made of. It's going to be tough to keep those bigger, stronger guys out.
We ate those words against North Hunterdon, though. We talked about fourth quarter letdown, and Hillsborough didn't. One thing you got to keep in mind, tremendous amount of character that the Raiders showed. Down 14-zip. A lot of teams would have said, oh, what the heck, we're all over here. Not the Raiders. They come back, and they come back real strong. And it's a 7-point game with only the first quarter, not even halfway through the first, well, a little bit beyond halfway, excuse me. Not only do we have technical problems, my mind isn't even here right now. But the Raiders obviously showing a lot of internal fortitude by coming back and scoring that 7.
Well, Coach Joe Polino, when I talked to him 2 weeks ago against North Hunterdon, he said that was the one thing about his team when they were down in North Hunterdon. They never lost confidence in themselves. They came back strong. They never quit. He said these are a group of guys that never quit. So I'm expecting a good contest.
Tardy ready to kick. Deep for Franklin, number 4, Eddie Daniels. Up backs Tequila Shorts, the number 5. Bear with me 1 second. Is Mark Jenkins, the backup quarterback.
Jenkins will watch the ball bounce out of bounds. I was going to say Eddie Daniels, the speedster for the Franklin Warriors, the co-captain, excellent basketball player, sprinter.
Franklin's elected to take that kick over again. It'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Raiders. We talked a little bit about the Franklin offense and the fact that we haven't seen it, but when you look down the stats and you see how Franklin's scoring is balanced between that backfield, that's the amazing thing. You've got Eddie Daniels, who at least as of coming into today's action was leading the county in scoring, passed over T.K. Dorsey with last week's performance. Mike Thomas not far behind him, and look, not far behind him is Tequila Shorts. So the Warriors have a balanced attack as far as who carries the scoring load for them.
Of course, Mike Thomas, still one of these scoring leaders. He and Grade are far out in front of anybody else. Although Daniels is just a shade behind. Tardy also up there. We're seeing some of the top scorers. 3 of the 4 top scorers in the conference in this game. Tardy to kick off again. This time it'll be a short kick. Come to one of the... no, it'll come to Daniels. Daniels with lots of room, and he has a hole. Daniels is gone. Goodbye. No. Good job by the kicker, Tardy, to save it, I'll tell you.
Daniels took it to the right. Had he stepped to the left, and it's easy for us because we're up here in the box. But Daniels had the green light on the left side of the field if he had stayed with it. Tardy made an outstanding, shows you how strong Tardy is, pulled him down with one arm.
Had him by the jersey and leveled him to the ground, I tell you.
Tardy's a strong kid, but he'll pull Daniels off his feet. Puts the Warriors on the offense, and we haven't seen much of them. They haven't needed much of it so far. First down, the ball sitting at about the 41-yard line of the Raiders.
Franklin with great field position every time they had the ball. Inside the 50. Let's see what Lindsay, the quarterback, will do. Hands off inside to number 22, Shorts, and he bounces for about 6.
Nikhil Shorts bouncing off, as Mike pointed out, and keeps those legs moving. And Shorts has been the big game breaker for Franklin this year. He's got some long touchdowns, 60, 70-yard runs this year. Once he gets in the secondary, he's a tough cookie to hold down.
Over the ball for the Franklin Warriors, number 51.
That's Marcus Trent.
Lindsay at quarterback. Boyd goes in motion. The handoff inside Thomas. He's gone again. Thomas is gone. I can't believe it. Mike Thomas picks up his 3rd touchdown.
Thomas with 34 to go breaks it off of the right side of the Franklin line. By through the secondary. Franklin goes to 7.
Mike Thomas picks up his 3rd touchdown of the first period. He just picked up a head of steam before the handoff, broke through the line, had a hole, and he was gone.
Well, Mike Thomas, you know, the kid about 6 foot, goes about 205, and it's solid 205. And he's got the acceleration to go with the muscle. And most teams just can't deal with Mike once he gets through the line.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bob, certainly not a defensive game here.
Having the point answer, number 2.
22, Nikhil Shorts is trying to get the PAT.
He's looking for a man. Rolls to the outside, no good. Squirrel State, 20-7. Taking a look at the replay, as you see Mike Thomas breaking through the hole, cuts to the outside, no Raiders there. All the way at the 10, outruns John Flanagan, in for the touchdown, and that's Thomas's 3rd touchdown of the first period. I would think Mike Thomas has 8 touchdowns on the year, at least 8.
I believe Mike had 36 points or thereabouts coming into this game, 36-38. So he's adding to that.
That sounds like 9.
Well, I can't divide.
The way it's going, it could be the Mike Thomas show.
Talk about some outstanding performances in Central Jersey last night. John Henry Johnson for Highland Park, 5 touchdowns in a 62-14 win. As Highland Park, Group 1 powerhouse, knocked off St. Peter's.
Bring him over to the Mid-State Conference. Let's see what happens. Back deep for the Raiders. 24 Flanagan, 82 Tardy. As we wait for the Warrior kickoff. Bounding kick on the ground comes to Tardy at the 15. Tardy. Reverse to Yagello. Yagello looking for room on the outside. Yagello has some running room. Still on his feet. Pounds his way back to the 35-yard line, about the 34.
31 on the stop for the Warriors. Hold it because this is an alphabetical listing and we go crazy every time we try to get a name.
It's like
Dwight
a race
Britton.
to see who's going to find it.
Dwight Britton, and Dwight Britton's been a terror of the opposing team backfields this year. Has got probably a handful, if not more, of sacks so far this season. Outstanding defensive player. And we said that word again.
As you see, 31 Britton in there on defense, along with Thomas, Daniels, Reggie Scott. Patrick is to the right for the Raiders. Handoff goes to Huff. He looks for running room. Stays on his feet. Nailed there by Mike Thomas after a short gain of maybe 1. I think Mike Thomas is triplet. No one can do it that much.
He is an amazing young man with a tremendous amount of God-given talent. Hard-working kid, though, and a fine young man. We've talked to him several times this season and last year. He's just an outstanding ball player. And I said that word again.
Very impressive young man for the Franklin Warriors. 83 Dennis Turner is now wide right. Blandino, long count. Back to pass. Looks towards Turner, goes over the middle. Ball tipped. Oh, what a super interception.
Reggie Scott, 85 for the Warriors, head up all the way, made the diving interception on Blandino's pass. Franklin's going to take it over. They're going to be at about the 47-yard line, 1st and 10.
Turnovers has been the story in the tough Franklin ground game, mainly Mike Thomas. 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. Outstanding kickoff by Eddie Daniels. With 2:12 to go in the first period, Warriors out in front, 20-7. Lindsay at quarterback. To Thomas. Thomas on the outside. This time tripped up after a gain of about 6. Tackled there by number 32, Kevin Day.
Mark Jenkins goes out for the Warriors. I guess he's shuttling plays this week for Lenny Rivers.
1:43 to go in the first period. 20-7. Mike Pulowski, Bob Pearson with the action. Daniels on the outside, chased by Tardy. Daniels gets past Tardy. We have a flag on the play as he's run out of bounds there by number 40, Ken Nixon.
Looks like a face mask. Daniels tried to turn it up, and the defender for Hillsborough reached out and got a hold of some plastic. Official right on top of the call. They'll talk about it. Hillsborough will argue about it.
Well, let's see how they're going to call it, whether it's going to be, I don't believe.
A minor or a major?
Yes. Well, it's 5, isn't it? If it's
a minor, it's 5. It's a major, it's the big one.
Yes, I would think 5, but let's see.
Well, it's really intentional or not. That's what they look at. To me, it looked like it was not intentional. The kid just reached out. I do not be the official, so we see what happens.
There you see number 5, Daniels, and number 1, Kelvin Lindsay, the quarterback for the Franklin Warriors. Ooh.
It'll bring up a first down for the Warriors, and they're going to move the ball up to the... Well, they're still moving, but it looks like it's going to sit at about the 26-yard line.
20 yards.
1:28 to go. First period action, 20-7. Franklin again with outstanding field position at the 30. Hills, check that, at the 26.
Jenkins wide left, Daniels wide right.
Tight end Scott to the right. Lindsay long count as Daniels comes in motion, passes, the snap, handoff Mike Thomas, off tackle, takes about 3 Hillsborough tacklers to the ground with him as Pete Tardy rides him to the turf, comes up with the ball, but the official says no, he was down.
Difficult situation for the Hillsborough Raiders right now defensively. Obviously, Franklin hasn't thrown the ball yet this game. They did throw against East last week. In fact, Eddie Daniels took a Lindsay pass in for a touchdown, but Franklin's just not considered to, their passing game is not on a par with their running game. Most people agree with that.
Franklin's offensive line, 68. Well, Normandia, Dan Craig, 63, doing an outstanding job. Inside Shorts.
Little misdirection by Franklin. Shorts takes it right up the middle, picked up about 4 or 5 yards.
Close to a first down. It is a first down. Warriors having their own way on the ground. Good job by their line.
We had mentioned earlier that Kevin Arline, their senior offensive tackle and linebacker, is not in today's game. He's being replaced by number 72, Brent. And Brent's doing a nice job on the right side of the line for the Warriors.
Lindsay, first down at the 15. Inside, Dakeil Short spins for maybe 2. Tackled there by 24, Flanagan, I think.
That was Al
Sarasivic.
Thank you very much, Michael. On the stop for the Raiders. And we're looking at 10 and 9. Check that. Second down, 9 yards to go.
And that's the end of the first period. We'll be back with second period action after this.
In the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen,
Flemington Mall on Route 202 has it all in 36 exciting stores. Stop in at Four Corners Imports for sterling silver jewelry and pewter figurines. Variety Photo has film, cameras, and photo processing. Rite Aid has thousands of items, all at great prices. The Source has the Victorian look of gunny sack and other fine clothing. Flemington Pizza makes delicious Italian specialties. Sal's Family Grooming Center knows how to care for your hair. Visit the Flemington Mall, just north of the Flemington Circle, because we have it all.
Hi, I'm Howie, and this is Popeye. Say hi, Popeye. From Pets, Pets, Pets in Somerset. And we'd like to show you what Pets, Pets, Pets is all about. If it swims, or slithers, or flies, or is furry, or just plain unusual, you'll find it at Pets, Pets, Pets. So come on and see us at Pets, 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 2 JFK Boulevard, Somerset, or in the Chester Mall, Chester.
Okay, we're back here for second period action at Hillsborough High School. Mike Pulowski, Bob Pearson for the Channel 8 crew. The score, Franklin 20, Raiders 7. Franklin with the ball threatening again. Lindsay, reverse, looking to throw, has his man, Reggie Scott, 85 on the reception.
Scott on a down and out, took it, about the 7-yard line, made the reception. Lindsay a little underthrown on the pass, moving to his right, throwing to his right.
Tackle there by Scott Huff, 42. That'll bring up a 3rd down and goal for the Warriors. Raiders really up against it here. They really like to hold as you look at Hillsborough head coach sidelines. Now you take a look at the Franklin offense led by Calvin Lindsay. See some of the Franklin Warriors.
Franklin's looking at 3rd down and about 4 yards for first.
Thomas inside. Thomas bangs in again. Mike Thomas. This is quickly becoming the Mike Thomas show.
Well, Michael's having an outstanding day. There's no two ways about that. And I said that word again. I don't care. Great blocking on the left side of Franklin line, but frankly, Thomas just popped it way outside of the left side end and just waltzed in after that.
There you see Lenny Rivers on these sidelines, the head coach of the Franklin Warriors. We're talking about it's 11-17 into the second period, and Mike Thomas has 4 touchdowns already.
That's not bad, huh, Mike?
That was my career total. I think that was my lifetime total.
That was a 7-yard run by Thomas. Tequila Shorts lining up. I'll tell you what, we're going for 2 here, obviously. Lindsay over the ball.
Lindsay with the ball, turns the corner, looking for the pitch. No way. Good defense.
Had the pitch to the outside to Tequila Shorts, but he just couldn't release it. So the score is now 26-7 with 11:17 to go in the second quarter. That's right, second quarter if you're just picking this up.
22, Chris Neville on the tackle. Hillsborough, not exactly your defensive struggle. As take a look at Scott Huff coming over to the sidelines to talk to assistant coach Tom DeMarco. Franklin Warriors, Mike Thomas just looks, there's not a word to describe it.
No, there isn't. And the amazing thing about Thomas is that he runs this way against everybody. He obviously doesn't score 4 touchdowns in the first quarter or first half against everyone. But if you look at his statistics, and keep in mind the kid plays both ways, linebacker, and he does a great job at linebacker, he's just a unique individual as far as athletic ability goes.
Scott will kick off back deep. Is Hardy and Flanagan. Of course, Franklin's had its way in terms of field position. Let's see what happens now. Scott. Low kick again comes to one of the upbacks who fumbles the ball. Takes a good pop from number 5 of the Franklin Warriors. And that's Mark Jenkins.
Jenkins, the backup quarterback, shows that he can pop too on defense. Raiders now looking at a situation that obviously most teams don't want to be in. You're down 19 points. It's only the first half.
It's really only the first period and change.
Really.
Ball spotted at about the 36-yard line. Raiders will have to get in motion here. Landino has looked fairly sharp with his passes. They mix the plays well when they've had the ball. This time the handoff goes inside to Yagello, who spins for about 4. Tackled by Thomas, 25. With help there from number 44, Jackson. Checking in is 83 Turner for the Raiders. Brings the play into Blandino from the sidelines. The Franklin defense. Very tough defense. Blandino, long count. Rolls out, has time, has his man. No, Yagello, the intended receiver, back on coverage. 44 Jackson.
Normandia for Franklin in there real quick, and along with Dwight Britton to put pressure on Blandino to make him get that ball off a little earlier than he'd hoped. It'll make a third down and long, 7 yards. Raiders definitely going to look to go the air on this one.
Could be a long afternoon. Hillsborough really needs to control the ball here, faced with a 3rd and long. 10:31 to go. 26-7 the score. Franklin Warriors on top. Blandino, short drop, looks, has his man for the first down. It's Flanagan. He may go. Run down from behind at the 32-yard line.
Flanagan with a great catch on the outside, know exactly where to turn it up to go. 3 Franklin Warriors in on the stop. We'll pick up the numbers.
Tackles
Reggie
here.
Scott,
Burton, 52.
and Burton 52. Corey Burton for the Warriors. Take another look at this Blandino pass to Flanagan. Not complicated. Right out there, Flanagan slipped up under the coverage. And then a host of Franklin Warriors to make the stop. Timeout Hillsborough as we go back to real time. You see Joe Paulino and Pete Hardy coming out on the field.
Al Heading coming out to talk to his defense, the defensive coordinator for the Franklin Warriors. Joe Paulino comes out to talk to the offense. Hillsborough with a record of 2-2. They beat Watchung and North Hunterdon. They lost to Voorhees. Okay, we'll be back for more action after this short intermission.
Flemington Mall on Route 202 has it all in 36 exciting stores. Stop in at Rafters and find discounted prices on name brand clothes. Health Harvest is a full nutrition center with 2 nutritionists on staff. Everything is a variety store and changes its inventory every 30 days. Smalls Formal Wear has the Christian Dior Dynasty and Miami Vice collection. Jamesway has everything from pots to patio furniture, all under one roof, all at great prices. Visit the Flemington Mall, just north of the Flemington Circle, because we have it all.
Okay, back here at Hillsborough High School, 26-7 the score, 10:18 to go, first period action. As my voice is fading is because I'm turning away from my desk mic. Our regular microphone's not working, as Hillsborough with a first down on the Blandino to Flanagan pass, the cousin connection, those two guys, cousins. Blandino again, rolls, looks, has time, has his man, Yagello, oh, can't hold on to it, bounced it around there. Coverage by Jackson, 44, also number 30 for the Franklin Warriors, as I'll run down that number.
David Clark, Mike.
David Clark.
Blandino's pass just slightly behind the receiver, actually almost off the top of the helmet. Brings up a second down at 10. Ball still resting at about the 36-yard line. Check that, 33-yard line.
Patrick and Flanagan to the left. Blandino looks that way. He looks for Flanagan on the up, but it's overthrown.
That was a pass pattern we saw work with a great deal of success against North Hunterdon 2 weeks ago. Blandino getting a little more pressure, though, than he did against North Hunterdon, and had to let that one go a little too early also.
Back covering for the Warriors for Daniels and 30 Clark. For Franklin, it's been Mike Thomas. He scored 3 times in the first period. 3-yard run, a 15-yard interception, a 40-yard run. And in the second period, early in the second period, a short run for a touchdown. For Hillsborough, it's been Tardy on the touchdown catch from Blandino as Tardy goes in motion right. Blandino backpedals under pressure. He'll be sacked. Taken down by number 40 for the Franklin Warriors.
That's Tom Dorian for the Warriors, according to the roster chart. And that is not a name we're familiar with throughout the season, so we may have a misassigned number here. If it's not, nice play, Tom.
Good defensive play.
Check that, Dorian Thomas. We're even reading backwards now. Things are really going swell here today.
Too many football games for Bob Pearson this afternoon.
Went over to watch North versus Piscataway this morning. Hillsborough faced with a 4th and a country mile. Blandino under pressure, has his man Tardy for the, he coughs it up! And Franklin has it. No, it's still a scramble, and it looks like it's going to be Franklin's ball.
Well, Mike Thomas is signaling it's Franklin's ball. It's still up to the official to make the call. And the call is
yes,
Franklin ball.
Turnovers are killing Raiders.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because it really has. We're going to take one more look at this situation as it developed. Blandino with the fake into the line right over the center.
Nice pass.
Outstanding catch, and the ball gets popped loose, and then it's who's got the pigskin after that, and it is Franklin's ball.
Well, you know, when you talk about turnovers, Franklin's defense really hitting. You told me earlier, Bob, that they're hitting defense, and they forced 2 fumbles and had an interception, turned them all into touchdowns as Lindsey hands off inside to Shorts. He has room on the outside. The speedster cutting to the inside, still on his feet, finally knocked down by 40 Nixon and I think 24 Flanagan.
Shorts going on the left side of the field. Had one man to beat. Good pursuit, though, by the Raiders to push him up against the sideline, not giving too many options on the cut. It'll be a first down for Franklin, one of many they've had in this game so far. 8:53 to go in the second quarter. Franklin on top, 26-7.
Ball at the 35-yard line. First down for the Warriors. They are on top, 26-7. 8:40 to go in the second period. Lindsey, inside handoff. Good defense this time by number 31, Drew Krasiuk.
Great defensive play by Krasiuk on that play. Second down, long 9. Mark Jenkins in from the sideline with the play.
Shoestring stop brings up a 2nd and 9. Franklin has not looked at that kind of a situation. Has 5 for the Warriors. Comes wide right. That's Jenkins. Lindsey goes down. Krasiuk.
Eddie Daniels on a fly pattern. Oh, about 10 yards beyond the nearest defender. But Lindsey couldn't deliver the mail. And now Franklin's looking at 3rd and about 14.
Drew Krasiuk comes alive in the middle of the line for the Raiders. 2 good plays in a row. He's been around a long time. I've been butchering his name for I think about 3 years. I think I finally got it right. Lindsey faced with a 3rd and long. 3rd and about 14. Back to pass under pressure, looking for the screen. He eludes one tackler, still looking. This time he goes down. And guess who?
Once again, Krasiuk in on the defense, and boy, he just had a tremendous series on those downs. Franklin now looking at 4th and, about 624 miles. It'll be a kicking situation, obviously.
Drew Krasiuk, 3 big plays in a row for him.
Lindsey doing a lot of dancing in the backfield. For whatever reason, couldn't find an open receiver.
Hillsborough might get decent field position here for a change. Shorts will do the punting. Back deep is 82 Tardy, and we have a whistle. Timeout for Hillsborough. There seems to be a problem with one of the players. I think Krasiuk, or maybe Fred Kuiper just wants to talk to his return team.
Well, with the position where the ball sits right now, any type of return that they can set up, there still seems to be some question about the personnel on the specialty team here. Working it out now.
Keith Golden comes out, 81, as Fred Kuiper gets his team. As we take a look at the Hillsborough cheerleaders, our cameraman Bill Stout, one of his favorite sideline pastimes.
Here's a shot from high atop the sports complex here at Hillsborough High School.
Run down some of our Cable 8 crew on hand to bring you this contest. Gary Jablonski, Jim McHugh, Bill Stout, Mark Steve, Colin Rockin' Osborne back from Rutgers, Valerie McMillan, and Roberta Pittenger on hand to bring you this big matchup between the Warriors and the Raiders.
as now we're ready for the punt. The snap to shorts. End over end kick comes down to Tardy. Tardy looking for room on the sidelines and finds none, and he is slammed.
Dwight Britton, 31 for the Warriors, in on the initial contact, then followed up by Ethan Jackson to bring it down. Raiders will put the ball in play at about the 48-yard line. They're 48. We've got 6:28 to go in the second quarter, and it's been an amazing dry spell without any scoring by anybody. 26-7, Franklin on top.
Good coverage by the Warriors on that punt. I want to tell you, Pete Tardy was body slammed. It was like World Federation Wrestling here.
Joe Paulino had a great quote this week's Home News talking about the Franklin speed. He said even the water boy's quick for that club.
That's true. Blandino at quarterback. Looks, has time, going to the out pattern. Oh, Daniels, a great one-handed interception. He may go all the way. Daniels fakes out one man, still at his feet at the 20. He's gone. Goodbye. Eddie Daniels takes it in.
Daniels with an outstanding, and that's right, folks, I said outstanding interception. Tremendous concentration to tip the ball, stay with it, and then to find out where the field position was as far as a run back.
Eddie Daniels on the interception. Again, the Warriors really playing opportunistic football. Fumbles, intercept. That's 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns. I believe 3 fumbles that they've taken and ended up converting to touchdowns. So at 5:59 to go here in the second period, the Franklin Warriors with a commanding 32-7 lead over the Raiders of Hillsborough. Eddie Daniels with an outstanding one-handed interception, leaps high in the air. Basketball player runs it back 60 yards.
Have a timeout on the field. Franklin's timeout.
Let's see. Should we take a short break here? All right, we will. And we'll be right back.
If you want a new drug, gifts, cards, or something for the kids, you'll find them at the Hillsborough Pharmacy located on Route 206 at Emerald Road. We've been providing convenient one-stop shopping in a friendly, familiar atmosphere since 1960. The Hillsborough Pharmacy has everything from aspirin to zinc and, of course, prescriptions. Our computer checks drug history and interactions or provides insurance printouts anytime. Pharmacists Jerry, Tom, and Bob are always available to discuss questions about medicines or personal care products from head to toe. The Hillsborough Pharmacy, your good neighbor pharmacy, celebrating 25 years of service in Hillsborough.
Now you take a look at the Hillsborough huddle as we come back to the field with the Raiders leading, the Warriors leading the Raiders. I'll get it right, folks, don't mind me, 32-7. Bob, you want to maybe talk about the scoring? And Eddie Daniels breaks the Mike Thomas streak here. Mike Thomas with 4 touchdowns.
Well, the only thing that was just thinking about, Mike, is I hope Joe Paulino didn't have a lot of stock on Monday because it's been a heck of a week for Joe.
A
so
tough
far.
week. Game far from over, though. Hillsborough not the kind of team that quits, as Lindsay will go for 2. Pitches to DeKeel Shorts. He'll walk in. And yes.
Shorts with the 2-point conversion. Put 34 points up on the scoreboard for Franklin. 5:59 to go in the first half. That's right, folks, first half. 34-7. And Franklin demonstrating why most people feel they are the outstanding team in Central Jersey, premier team in the Mid-State Conference. As we pointed out earlier, ranked as high as number 3 by the North Star Ledger, and they are showing why today.
Tough to find a weakness in that Franklin offense or defense. They hit, they're quick, they go to the ball. I suspect we will see some, I don't know what Hillsborough will do. I would expect to see maybe some trick plays. Certainly we're not going to see the ground game. All right, Reggie Scott will tee it up. No, it won't be Reggie Scott. It'll be a new kicker for the Franklin Warriors. I think it's 44 Jackson. I'm not sure. A short kick. Takes a funny bounce. Picked up by one of the up men. Still on his feet, popping going on in there. Body's flying all over. I'll tell you, it's a good hitting day.
Raiders have the ball about the 36-yard line, where they'll put it in play, 1st and 10. Blandino coming in from the sidelines.
There you saw number 73 for the Raiders a moment ago. He'll set her up. Coming to the sidelines is number 53, Garrett Herbst, the co-captain, as Dominic Blandino, the senior quarterback, his team up against it here. Blandino rolls, has time, has his man, Ugello, off his fingertips. And Ugello takes a shot from number 30, Dave Clark.
Clark on the coverage, and you're right, he did put the leather to the intended receiver on that play.
Blandino, a fairly sharp day with his passes, hitting the people, a couple of drop passes, a couple of fumbles that would have resulted in Hillsborough first down.
Well, given the fact, Mike, he's been intercepted several times in this first half, you think he'd get a little gun shy about chucking it out there, but he's still holding his ground on a drop back and throwing the ball with some authority. So,
and give credit to the Hillsborough line, keeping that tough, big Franklin defense.
Only one sack so far in this game, and that's interesting.
2nd and 10. Rolls again. Time. Looks. Has Tardy. Tardy can't get away from Clark with help from number 4, Daniels.
Daniels and number 25, guess who? Mike Thomas in on the stop to assist Clark after the initial hit. Give the Raiders a 3rd down.
A 3rd down and a short 2.
And it would be nice to see the Raiders convert this first down, maintain possession, get some continuity in the offense. And you're right, Mike, turnovers have just killed them. I mean, it's killed them, and it's given Franklin opportunities that they've certainly taken advantage of.
4 turnovers have resulted in 4 Franklin touchdowns. 2 interceptions run back for touchdowns by Daniels and Thomas. Blandino, 3rd and 2. Hands off to Scott Huff. He has running room.
Nice run by Huff, kept his feet, kept his head going in the right direction. In on a stop for Franklin was number 62, and I'll just take a chance of trying to figure out who it is. I think it's, now I'm not going to guess.
I didn't get the number, so I'll confess to dozing. Check that, the ball carrier was Ugello, 43, not 42. Scott Huff, 42, Ugello, 43.
Corey Cartwright in a stop for the Warriors, and if Pat Dolan, the AD, is going to watch this show, please, Pat, put the program, the roster in number order, not alphabetical order.
First down, Raiders. 4-17. Pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Good defensive work by number 31 for the Franklin Warriors.
Dwight Britton just does a great job on defense for the Warriors. He was a real animal, to put it bluntly, in the Somerville game when Franklin just decimated Somerville. Probably had about 3 or 4 sacks that night at least.
Now you see 82, Pete Tardy, leading touchdown catcher in the conference. Blandino, the quarterback, rolls under pressure, launches one for Flanagan, and up. Oh.
Ball wasn't catchable. Some of the fans from Hillsborough wanted to flag. The ball really wasn't anywhere near where the 2 players were.
Back on defense, Daniels, they bumped a bit. Not a good pass that time by Blandino.
Well, he aired it out. He wanted to catch Flanagan as deep as he could.
Coming to the sidelines is 41 Patrick, as the Raiders are faced with a 3rd and 10. Ball spotted at about the 48-yard line. So you see 83, that's Dennis Turner, talking to Joe Polino, bringing the play in from the sidelines to an eagerly awaiting Dominic Blandino. Dave Frank, 50 over the ball, will snap. Blandino under pressure, has his man, Ugello. Ugello stays in bounds. He'll be short of the first down, but not by much.
Jackson on the stop for the Warriors.
With a little help from 85, Reggie Scott. Scott, who has an interception. 3:47 remaining. We'll stay here during this timeout. Not a lot we can say about what's been happening.
No, there really isn't, Mike.
Franklin living up to its reputation.
They certainly are. It's self-explanatory if you've been watching. The story pretty much is the hard-hitting defense of Franklin so far in the first half has just created so many opportunities for the Warrior offense to not have to travel many yards to get to pay dirt. In some occasions, the points coming directly off the turnover without the offense getting on the field. Mike Thomas showing everyone so far in the first half why he is so highly regarded as a Division I blue chipper.
The spiders are crawling around the booth here. Not only do I have to climb up to this Hillsborough press box, but they have spiders all over the place.
It's short, 4th down and about 1. No doubt that Joe Paulino is going to go for the 1 foot, if that's what it is. Get some names up for you on the defense of the Warriors. Ralph Normandy is 68. Number 40 is Dorian Thomas. 51 is Marcus Trent, down lineman on the defense of the Warriors.
Getting a bit of static here as Blandino calls signal, sets his team down, hands off inside to Yagello, who battles for the first down. Nice job by Yagello.
Great determination by Yagello to get through that middle and get that first down. And the Raiders do have some time to work. There's 3:36 to go in the first quarter.
Hit by Jackson, 44. Let's do Mike Thomas just run over each other.
Yeah. Set some of the other Franklin defense for you. Number 4 is Eddie Daniels. 25, guess who? Mike Daniels. 22, DeKeel Shorts. 85, Reggie Scott. And number 5, Mark Jenkins, playing in the secondary, also backup quarterback to Kelvin Lindsay.
24 is Flanagan, and 82 is Tardy, who goes in motion. Flanagan is left as Blandino goes to a long count, rolls to his right. He looks for 40 Nixon, who is covered by Shorts over Nixon's head.
DeKeel Shorts, seeing that pass coming out in the flat, just almost had a shot at picking that one off also. And boy, I'll tell you what, he could have walked, not run, to the end zone if he had picked it up.
Franklin's defensive backs have done an outstanding job, and I'll say outstanding, of reading the play. Come up with 3 interceptions already, 2 for touchdowns. Pretty much on the scene, blanketing the Raider receivers. Dave Frank over the ball. Spinelli, one of the guards, as Blandino gets away from one tackler, has his man Tardy, who takes a good hit from Scott, 85.
Vicious hit from Scott, clean hit, but boy, I'll tell you, it hurt up here, and he helped Tardy back up on his feet after the hit.
He doing a good job of holding onto the ball that time.
You take a look at Blandino's pass to Tardy and the hit by Scott right on top of the play, which got the Raiders a first down, and they're looking at first from about the 25. Still enough time on the clock for the Raiders to do something here with 2:47 to go in the first half.
Jeff Adair, Bob Spinelli, the guards. Dave Frank, the center. Blandino, the quarterback. He fakes to Huff. He looks for Tardy, way overthrown. And I'll tell you what, that was close to, it is offensive interference.
Hi, I'm Phil Simms, the Super Bowl champion Giants. When I'm on the field, these guys protect me from blitzing linebackers. But when I'm on the road, it's these men and women who protect me and my family from drunk drivers.
That's right, Phil. Here in New Jersey, we have tough laws against drinking and driving. If you're caught, you automatically lose your license and pay a heavy fine. You could even be sent to jail.
That's right, Governor Kane. Remember, protect yourself
and others.
Don't drink and drive.
Okay, we're back to live action after the penalty is assessed against the Hillsborough Raiders.
Lenny Rivers is over on the sideline. He heard the interference end of the call, but he didn't know who was against him. When they said interference, Lenny went, what? Now he finds out it's against the Raiders, and he's happy now.
Not a good job that time. Hillsborough pushed off against the defender on an overthrown ball as Blandino looks, has time in the middle. Oh, just in and out of the hands of John Flanagan, almost picked off by Eddie Daniels again.
One of the Franklin backs cutting across in front of Flanagan obstructed his vision when the ball got through. Flanagan didn't know where it was at. Had he been able to get his awareness back a little bit quicker, he would have had a good shot at getting into the end zone. But his vision was blocked out.
Really crowded in the middle that time. No receivers on the outside.
They got penalized. How come they didn't move the penalties, holding it up in the bench? All right. To clarify the previous penalty, we had all 7 penalties, so we lost down, and the second Count remains the same, and Dallas second and 10 for the Raiders.
Blandino, second and 10, ball at the 25. Turner goes in motion right. Blandino sprints that way, throws to Scott Huff, who's hit immediately. What a shot by DeKeel Shorts.
Shorts right up on the pass as soon as the yellow pulled it in. He was popped immediately. Is that Huff or Yagello, Mike? I'm sorry.
42 is Huff. 43 is Yagello.
Thank you.
Which one it was, I'm not sure now. You've confused me.
Huff on the reception. Shorts on the stop. Third down, 5 yards to go.
Shortstop, yes. World Series time.
Right. Go Cardinals.
Let's say go Twins. Thank you. Little indecision here in the booth who's going to win the World Series as Blandino looks for Flanagan, rolls to his left, under pressure, he'll be sacked. Good defense. 62 Cartwright on the sack for the Warriors. That brings up another fourth down.
Blandino definitely going left on that pass play. Similar to, I don't know if Tardy was that far over on the left or not, either Flanagan or Tardy in that corner.
1:14 to go, first period action. Franklin Warriors out in front 34-7. They pretty much had it their own way the entire afternoon as the Raiders now faced with a fourth down and long as Blandino backpedals, looks, launches one in the corner for Flanagan. It's uncatchable.
Uncatchable, no flag. Stops the clock with 59 seconds to go. Turns the ball over to Franklin Warriors. They've got a humongous lead with only 59 seconds left to go in the first half. Presuming Lenny Rivers will be content to run this out, get the half on the way.
Well, when you talk about running it out with Franklin, there's no
Well, yeah, I meant the clock, not the backfield.
I'll tell you, because those Franklin Warriors, you give the ball to any of them, they're all speedsters. They get through that line, and it's goodbye. I doubt if Lindsey's just going to run around behind that.
Well, the Raiders have nothing to be embarrassed about. Nobody's been able to contain that backfield so far this year.
Franklin, of course, they smashed Somerville earlier as there it goes. It's Thomas keeping his balance, rushes for about 7. 52 seconds showing in this first half.
And Thomas is not getting up too quick, an official timeout. And I'll tell you, Mike, when he made a cut, it looked like something had given out on his left leg or his right leg. He may have twisted an ankle. They're working on the left leg right now. Could even be a cramp at this stage, hard to tell.
I would think so, and could possibly be a cramp. He's been very busy. Of course, Mike Thomas, a year ago, missed most of the season with an injury.
He had arthroscopic surgery about 2 weeks into the season and was out the rest of the year.
Lenny Rivers looking on.
So check that. He came back for 4 games and ran for over 400 yards.
Mike Thomas, a very tough running back. Definitely a Division I player in terms of talent, and I'm sure he's being scouted by a lot of people.
It's a cramp, and he's walking it off.
There, we'll take a look at what happened as the handoff to Thomas. Cuts inside.
He pulled up right there.
Might even be a hamstring the way it looked like he went.
He looks pretty good on the sideline right now. He's walking it out.
41 seconds. Handoff to 22 Shorts. He has the first down. Tackled by 53 Garrett Herbst.
They'll move the chains and the clock will stop until they get them reset. 33 seconds to go. Should be one more play in this half.
A busy scoring first period of action. 2 touchdowns scored in the second period, both by Franklin, Mike Thomas, Eddie Daniels. Daniels the last man to score with a 50 or 60-yard interception return as the ball goes to number 4, Daniels. And I'll tell you what, Daniels was leveled by 40 Nixon that time.
And Daniels tapped Nixon on the helmet and said, nice stick. No doubt about it. It certainly was. And that will do it for the first half.
Okay, that's it. The Franklin Warriors will take a 34-7 lead to the locker room, and we'll be back for second half action after this intermission. Bob, what can you say? Hillsborough made mistakes. Franklin capitalized on it. Franklin's ground game, great. Hillsborough's passing game, sharp but not sharp enough.
Well, we said before the start of the game that we weren't quite sure. You know, you go back and you look at the North Hunterdon game, and we said that Hillsborough would have to play a perfect game to beat them. They virtually did on offense. Coming in today's game, you know, you look at the point spread. Some people said by 2 touchdowns. Some people said maybe by 1. Some people said by who knows how many. And as it turns out, it's by who knows how many. And it's just a situation where Franklin took the wind out of Hillsborough right away. Defensively, they, you know, recovered fumbles, intercepted passes, scored off the turnovers, and they've built up such a tremendous lead here in the first half that, with all due respect to Hillsborough and Joe Paulino, it's going to be very difficult for the Raiders to work their way out of this situation. Hopefully they can come back and make it a respectable score, but that's going to be some task ahead of them.
Teeing up the ball for the Raiders, Pete Tardy, 82 back deep for the Franklin Warriors, number 4, Eddie Daniels. Both of those gentlemen have touchdowns on the day. Pete Tardy, a touchdown catch for Hillsborough's only score. Daniels, a 60-yard return of an interception. The ball bobbled by Jenkins at the 1. Jenkins looking for running room, gets to the outside, spins away. Oh, good tackle there by number 81 for the Hillsborough Raiders, Keith Golden.
Jenkins bobbling the ball, as Mike pointed out, tried to get some blocking up the sideline, couldn't get it, and an outstanding tackle by the Hillsborough defender to bring him down at about the 19. So Franklin, after all of that, starts out 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line.
Of course, Franklin today would like to repay Hillsborough for the upset, a win Hillsborough had against the Warriors last year. Kelvin Lindsay at quarterback. Shorts and Thomas. Thomas gets the ball, and he's smothered at the line of scrimmage after a pickup of 2 by number 32. That's Kevin Day. And 82, Pete Tardy.
Thomas starting off the second half a little bit less auspicious than he did the first half. And Franklin's looking at 2nd down and 9.
Eddie Daniels is wide right. Lindsay to Thomas again. Thomas on the outside. Thomas breaks tackles. Thomas and a foot race. Goodbye, Michael. Thomas is on his way for his 5th touchdown of the afternoon, and we are talking like a 70-yarder, I think, as he runs by number 82, Tardy.
Line of scrimmage was a 22-yard line on the go. So if my math's not too bad, it's 78 yards for the TD. We're going to take a look at Mike Thomas's remarkable run in the beginning of the second half. Really picked it up where he left it off. Thomas, once in the secondary, as we pointed out, not only just power, but a lot of speed, and he's just gone to the races. That's his 5th TD on the afternoon. 40-7. Franklin's looking at, well, we're waiting to see what they're going for, 1 or 2. Da'Keil Shorts is in. Appears like they're going for the 1-point conversion.
Franklin picks up where it left off in the first half, Mike Thomas. And Mike Thomas could be looking at the biggest day of his career here. 5 touchdowns already for him, and we are just into the second period.
That'd be a big day in anybody's career, Mike.
True, I'll tell you. Takes over the scoring lead. Kick is up and good. 41-7 over the Raiders, and it's going to be a long afternoon for Hillsborough. Michael Thomas, I'll tell you, he has looked outstanding. That was nothing fancy. That was just getting through the hole and breaking it. And in a foot race between himself and 2 of the Hillsborough Raiders, and it really was no contest.
Well, we're reaching a point of redundancy. I mean, what more can we say about Mike Thomas? Once he's through that line, gets through the backers, it's very difficult for anybody secondary, let alone Hillsborough, to bring him down. And he showed tremendous speed on the 78-yard run right there. We've said it before, he's definitely a blue chipper on the 1A level as far as college football is concerned. A lot of people hungry for him. Had a remarkable summer at the Penn State camp. Paterno indicated to people from Franklin that Thomas was the best back he had out there during the summer camp at Penn State, and you can see why. He's showing it all today.
Thomas, 1 more touchdown will equal his season total. He had 36 coming in. He has 30 today, 66 points. Back deep is 42 Scott Huff for the Raiders, and 82 Tardy. Tardy will field the ball at the 20. He fakes the handoff, goes to the middle, looks for running room, stacked up there at the 37-yard line. Brought down by number
45 for Franklin was in on the hit. That's a new number. We haven't seen him in the game so far. And as we indicated, the roster is a little difficult to read here. It's in alphabetical order, so we'll track the number down as soon as we can and tell you who number 45 is for the Warriors. That's what I keep saying now. I got it. Ricky Schwartz. Ricky Schwartz. Correct that.
They'll bring up a 1st and 10 for Dominic Blandino and his troops. Raiders with the ball in play at the 36-yard line. Ugello and Huff, the backs. Blandino, 2-pass, looking for Flanagan. Flanagan in and out of his hands, covered by DeKeel Shorts, 22.
For John Flanagan, defending on the play, number 22. The 2nd and 10 for the Hillsborough.
Flanagan had an outstanding day against North Hunterdon 2 weeks ago. Of course, Hillsborough last week losing to Voorhees. Voorhees this week upsetting Hunterdon Central 22-21.
How do you figure?
It's been a crazy season.
Well, yeah, especially with today's win by North over Piscataway, 20-zip. It just throws the whole picture askew.
Especially in the Raritan division as Blandino looks to throw, has his man Ugello with the catch. Good tackle.
DeKeel Shorts up on the secondary for Franklin to make the stick. It'll bring up the 3rd down, and the Raiders will be looking for 4 or 5 yards here. Set some of the people in the Franklin defense for you. Number 68, Ralph Normandy, a big kid. Tough, tough, tough. 52 is Corey Burton. 61. They're into this thing about tying shirts in the back now, Mike. You can't read numbers half the time anymore, but 61, according to the roster, is Kevin Surratt. 31, Dwight Britton.
Dave Frank over the ball for the Hillsborough Raiders. Handoff inside to Huff. Gets away from one tackler. Has the 1st down.
Ethan Jackson for Franklin made the first hit. Huff scooted out of his arms, and I believe it was number 4, Eddie Daniels, who made the final stop.
With a little help by Dwight Britton, 31.
So that'll bring up 1st down for the Raiders. We've got 9:36 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
We're going to start telling some jokes pretty soon here. It could develop into a long game. Hillsborough not giving up, though.
No, the kid's got great attitude, and I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting how long Lenny Rivers leaves in the likes of Mike Thomas. And
42, Huff, the ball carrier. Dragged down by 31, Britton. Dwight Britton, the tackler. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Hillsborough. As we take a look down the Hillsborough sidelines, not too many smiling faces there. A long afternoon. Bob Turco, one of the assistant coaches, played for Joe Polino here in the days of the Mountain Valley Conference, where they had some outstanding teams, went to the playoffs. Of course, Lenny Rivers, his team, the Group 3 state champion a short while ago in Central Jersey. Blandino to pass, under pressure. Oh, what a good sack.
Super, super play by number 40 for the Warriors. Here we go again, folks. Bear with us. That's Dorian Thomas.
Dorian Thomas.
5'11", 184-pound junior. We're going to see this terrific defensive play by Dorian Thomas. Well, he just blows through everybody. And as we said, he's a junior, 5'11", 185 pounds. So Lenny Rivers has at least one kid coming back next year that can play some D.
Blandino again, 3rd down and long. Fakes to Huff, sets up to throw, goes over the middle, has his man. Complete to Turner. Tackled by Daniel, short of the 1st down.
Joe Polino trying to get a holding call against the Warriors, but he's not going to get it. Now we take a look at this Franklin roster, Mike, while we've got a few seconds here. They're a fairly good number of seniors, but the underclassmen situation of Franklin is very good this year. And from what we hear, their freshman team has been dominating equally as well as the varsity this year. So it looks like things are going to go on for a few more years at Franklin with some real strong football teams.
Well, you mentioned that the Hillsborough and Franklin freshmen met this week. 2 undefeated freshman teams. I don't know the outcome of that, but I'm sure it was a great contest. Joe Fusco, the freshman coach for Franklin, almost an interception on the field. And Otto Gazelle, the freshman coach here at Hillsborough. 2 undefeated freshman teams, 2 tough, good, hard-nosed coaches, so I'm sure that was a great matchup.
We have a motion penalty against the Raiders. Franklin will obviously accept that. Dakeil Shorts was covering on the defense for Franklin. Almost picked that baby off and was gone.
A minute ago, I mentioned about Lenny Rivers' championship team of a few years ago today. As I was coming up to the game, the fathers of one of his outstanding players, Phil Barnes, who was a great tight end, a good basketball player at Franklin High School. I got a chance to talk with Mr. Barnes. Phil, of course, had played some college ball, now in the Marines, doing a great job.
A few good men, that's what they need.
Okay, Franklin will take over on downs. It'll be first down for Franklin from about the 47-yard line. Lindsey Shorts, the back, hands off to Dakeil Shorts. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage by number 53, Garrett Herbst.
We should point out that Lenny Rivers has made the change we anticipated. Mike Thomas is not in the game at this point in time. David Clark's running out of the deep back position for the Warriors. And we'll probably pick up some other new numbers for you. Mark Jenkins was in on the last play. I think he's gone back out now, though. 22, Dakeil Shorts is the down back. David Clark, 30, the up back.
Daniels goes in motion left. 6:41 to go here in the third period. And he is gone down. Tardy has him, rides him to the turf. Big loss. Not Pete Tardy. Kevin Day, 32, I think.
Yeah, Tardy. Tardy was in on the tackle, Mike.
Can't tell if it's 32 or 82.
82. Well, you get your age, almost 40.
I'm getting older by the minute with this game, I want to tell you.
We're going to take a quick look at that sack by the Raiders right here. And as you can see, Calvin Lindsey's in trouble, and there he is, number 82, Pete Tardy, on the way.
It is 82, Pete Tardy. And I think that was Mike Thomas, the ball carrier that time. Hit by Kevin Day.
Thomas back in, as you point out. It brings up a fourth down, and, about 10.5 yards. Or make it 10 3/4. Or 10 5/8.
It'll bring up a fourth down, Shorts to punt. Back deep is Flanagan and Tardy. It's an end-over-end kick, which will come.
Boy, and Dwight Britton from the Warriors was down there awful quick.
Okay, we'll be back with live action right after this break.
Licardi Motors, the largest retail Chrysler Plymouth dealer in America. Selection, low prices. Licardi has 2,500 Chryslers, Plymouths, Peugeots, van conversions, and used cars, with more arriving daily. Call for instant credit. Licardi Motors, the car giant, guarantees we'll beat any deal in the U.S. or you get the car free. Mention this station and get a free gift. Come to Licardi Motors, Route 22 West, Greenbrook, 752-7373.
We're back with 4:29 to go here in the third period of Hillsborough High School after a Gary Urgello run, as I was kind of nodding off a little foot, I'll confess. Franklin up 41-7. Still a period and about a chunk to go. As you take a look at number 4, Eddie Daniels, who has a touchdown on the day. Handoff inside, I believe Scott Huff, the ball carrier.
It'll bring up a third down, and it looks like about 2 yards to go for the Raiders.
Coming out of the game, 64, Jeff Adair. Let's take a look at a Hillsborough Raider on the sidelines. Third down and short. Hillsborough on the short end of the score. Landino at quarterback, long count. Hands off, and I don't think so.
No, it's going to be fourth down and an obvious kicking situation for the Raiders.
Dwight Britton on the tackle with help from Kevin Surratt, 61. That'll bring up a 4th down and a very long 2. Pete Tardy back to punt. Oh, and a high snap, reminiscent of weeks ago against North Hunterdon.
Nice kick.
Good kick. Jenkins calls for the fair catch, drops it, and covers it.
Jenkins looking up in the sun, trying to find that ball after he called the fair catch. Did a good job of getting the handle back on it after he fumbled it.
Back there on the coverage, 65, Jeff Savar.
So Franklin will get back to work. It'll be 1st and 10 from about their own 32-yard line. And I'll tell you, Mike, things don't get much better for Hillsborough. They come out of this game, and they've got Bridgewater East at East, and East is hungry. They're going to be looking to get somebody. They had a tough game with Somerville Friday night, or last night, that is, and they are a team that can get you. They gave Franklin fits in the 3rd quarter at Franklin.
They have some outstanding size. They have a good quarterback. As Lindsay hands off to DeKeel Shorts, who looks for running room, finds none, runs in to 24 Flanagan.
On the other hand, Franklin has no piece of cake next week, because guess who's coming to town to Somerset? It's going to be the Lions of North Hunterdon.
As we take a look at the Gatorade tank on the sideline. Pete Tardy picking it up on the sidelines for a drink. The co-captain of Hillsborough. No, folks. They're not one of our sponsors. Okay, 2nd down and 9. Thomas can't get the ball. It's fumbled. Hillsborough fights for it. I think Raiders have it. They do. Not a good pitch by Lindsay to Mike Thomas. And Thomas might have had some running room.
What can you say? Lindsay just didn't pitch the ball very well. Very difficult for Thomas to get a handle on it. And although at one point Thomas probably should have just dropped on it, but he tried to keep booting it a little bit to get up in the air so he could run with it. Hillsborough now has an opportunity to be an opportunist, because they have a turnover, and they have without a doubt the best field position they've had in the entire game to date, other than the fact when Tardy scored on a 7-yard pass from Blandino way back in the 1st quarter.
1:46 to go in the 3rd period. Raiders looking to capitalize on the Franklin fumble. One of the few turnovers Franklin has coughed up today. Blandino to throw, looking long, and oh!
Outstanding defensive play by number 4, Eddie Daniels, and I'm going to say it, I don't care, it was. Daniels timed that one so well, got up and Tardy and just knocked the ball away at the last second.
Intended for Flanagan also.
That's what I said, Flanagan.
Back there, Dennis Turner and Eddie Daniels knocking the ball away as Joe Polino watches. It's tough on that sidelines, I'll tell you, in this mid-state. You never know what's going to happen week to week. Blandino faced with 2nd and 10. Ball at the 35. Fakes, takes a deep drop, looks for the screen, has Tardy on the screen, he has some blocking, gets past one man, another, goes out of bounds at about the 29.
85, Reggie Scott for the Warriors bumped Tardy out just at the last second, otherwise Tardy was in for 6.
Jackson, 44, just missed nailing him for a loss. Read the play well, just didn't make the tackle. Brings up a 3rd down and about 3.
We'll take a look at it one more time. Blandino to the screen on the left side. Blocking was set up. Number 30, David Clark had the first shot. And then Reggie Scott knocks him out. Reggie Jackson. Oh, God.
Home run.
It's coming down to this.
World Series time. Mr. October. Blandino faced with a 3rd and about 3. Long 3. Fakes. Under pressure. Goes. Has his man. Close to a 1st down.
Boy, I'll tell you, this is going to be a measurement.
I'm not going to say outstanding.
No, don't say that.
Got into that rut last week.
Now, 43, I believe, is Ugello. Did I have this right this time?
Yes, and tackled by 52, Burton. We have Burton and Britton, and I keep getting them mixed up. As we take a look at these stands, some of the people on hand, great afternoon for football.
Tell them to sit up, Mike.
Sit up straight, folks. 49 seconds to go in the 3rd period. Warriors 41, Raiders 7. Mike Thomas, 5 touchdowns on the day. Handoff inside on 4th and short, and it's going to be close.
It looks like the forward motion had it. It was the backup motion. Yeah, they give it first down for the Raiders. And they're going to be somewhere, now that they've moved the sideline markers on us, about the 20-yard line, 19-yard line, I guess. Check that, 23-yard line, 24-yard line.
Make up your mind.
Do I hear 26, 27?
Okay. Do I hear 28? Raiders looking to punch one in here. 21 seconds to go, third period. In motion, Turner to the right. Long count. Blandino looks for Tardy. Has his man. Tardy drags two Franklin Warriors along with him as he gets to about the 16-yard line.
David Clark made the initial hit. Now, I'll tell you, David's 5'6" and 165 pounds. And I do believe Mr. Tardy's a bit bigger than that.
Help on the stop by Reggie Scott. Take a look at it, ground level.
Once again, we're going to see this pass to Tardy as Blandino just pops a fast one out to the left side. And it's a tough haul for Mr. Clark here. Reading Nike in left and right.
And that's the end of the third quarter. We'll be back after this.
Flemington National Bank and Trust Company has been making banking easier since 1876 and features very competitive mortgage rates, no fees on its Powerhouse Home Equity line of credit if applied for by November 30th, 1987, savings of up to 70% on stock purchases through its discount brokerage office, and the Cirrus Network with access to 25,000 teller machines worldwide. We have locations in Surgentsville, Ringo's, ShopRite, Three Bridges, Flemington Circle, and Main Street, Flemington. Let us show you how we can make banking easier.
Noldy's Pianos and Organs for keyboards, lessons, pianos, and clocks. Noldy's in the Hunterdon Shopping Center, Flemington, 782-5400.
Okay, back for fourth period action on the pass from Blandino, looking for Tardy crossing, knocked away. Good defensive effort by 85. Reggie Scott in 22, DeKeel Shorts.
We got it on Memorex, folks. You have to see the whole play this time. Blandino slight fake in the middle. He's looking all the way for Tardy, and the ball is tipped away just at the last second by Franklin. 11:55, Hillsborough knocking on the door, and they haven't had a chance to knock too many times today.
Second down and 10. From about the 14, looking for Flanagan. No, check it, looking. I thought he was looking for Flanagan on the cross inside, intended for Scott Huff.
He had Flanagan, and he was going on the outside, as you point out, to Huff. I don't think he saw Flanagan at all, Mike, and you're right, Flanagan was wide open up the middle.
Little crossing pattern as we look at 41. Dave Patrick coming into the huddle with the play from Coach Joe Polino on the sidelines. Hillsborough not exactly within striking distance of taking the game away from Franklin with the score of 41-7, but could make it a little more respectable, punching it in here.
Once again, you know, if there's any bright side on the Hillsborough situation, Blandino has had time to throw for the most part. He's been dumped twice, but overall, he's been fairly good protection. And
good
as I speak...
a fumble. And Franklin's going to have it, I think. Fumble on the snap between Dave Frank and Blandino.
Well, that's the way it's been all day. If the Warriors weren't doing it on their own on offense, they were doing it with defense to take the ball away.
Lots of turnovers today, all going against the Raiders. 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns. That's the third. This fumble kills a drive.
Why?
There it is, the fumble on the snap. He looks like he bumped the guard going back.
We're not sure. We'll give Corey Burton the kudo on the recovery there. He was at the bottom of the pile.
Lindsey at quarterback. Hands off to Shorts, 22.
Oh, flag on the play. We haven't seen the DeKeel Shorts hallmark yet, and that's the long, long touchdown. One of the few games we haven't seen DeKeel pop one earlier so far.
There you saw 68 for Franklin, Ralph Normandia.
Preliminaries against Franklin. Illegal block.
For the Hillsborough defense, 64, Jeff Adair. 31, Drew Chris Derrick. 42, Scott Huff. 32, Kevin Day. 41, Dave Patrick. 82, Pete Tardy.
Dwight Britton, 31, brings the play in from the sidelines. Lindsey's back to the cuddle. They're going to move the ball back, though, before anybody gets too excited here. Franklin with a 5-yard penalty. It'll bring up first down and 15. No, it's not a loss of down. First down and 15.
First and 15 for the Warriors. Ball spotted at about the 8-yard line. Lindsey hands off to Thomas. Thomas fights his way through free. I can't believe him. Good saving tackle by Flanagan. Mike Thomas just ran over 2 tacklers.
Well, there's just no doubt about it. You've got probably the premier running back, not only in the state. We said it before on the East Coast. He is just an outstanding blue-chip candidate for Division 1A football.
Saving tackle by John Flanagan. Or Thomas could have been off to the races for number 6. 10:40, fourth period action, 41-7. Mike Pulowski, Bob Pearson for the Channel 8 crew. As Thomas gets the call again, slithers forward this time for a pickup of a few yards.
By number 41, David Patrick. Third down and long for the Warriors.
That brings up a third down. Dave Patrick on the stop for Hillsborough.
Franklin's looking at about a 3rd and long 4. We got 10-12 to go in the 4th quarter. They're on top 41-7.
You think they're going to pass, Bob?
Nope.
Thomas gets the call, still on his feet. Great balance. Mike Thomas really putting on a show this afternoon as he's dragged down. Keeps his balance, fights through the line on a short down situation, but that happens quite often. Tackled by Tardy. Short down, the defense bunches up. Thomas pops through for the big gainer, lugs the ball out to the 40-yard line.
And once again, Thomas, after the hit by Pete Tardy, walked over, tapped him on the back of the helmet, just to say, nice tackle. Nice young man. And Tequil Shorts, Thomas, Eddie Daniels, all leaving the field right now. Franklin going to get some time in for some reserve players.
Thomas well over 100 yards, I think around 150, as the ball is handed off inside to 44 Jackson. Okay, well, there's a lull in the action. We will take a short break.
Licardi Motors, the largest retail Chrysler Plymouth dealer in America. Selection, low prices. Licardi has 2,500 Chryslers, Plymouths, Peugeots, van conversions, and used cars, with more arriving daily. Call for instant credit. Licardi Motors, the car giant, guarantees we'll beat any deal in the U.S. or you get the car free. Mention this station and get a free gift. Come to Licardi Motors, Route 22 West, Greenbrook, 752-7373.
Okay, we're back to action here at Hillsborough. Franklin Warriors, 41 Raiders 7. Take a look at what happened while you were away.
That was David Clark on the last carry for the Warriors. It brings up the 3rd down and 4.
Handoff inside to Clark, 30. And he shows some of his moves, plugging the ball for a first down at the 40-yard line, and shade shy of the 40-yard line. Tackled there by number 64, Jeff Adair.
As we pointed out, Clark, only 5'6", 165-pound junior. He's going to be back next year for Lenny Rivers. And with moves like that, nobody's going to complain about having him back. Tough kid on defense, too. We saw Clark go in there and pop Pete Tardy a couple times. Much outsized, but boy, he has a lot of heart, and he goes in and sticks hard.
At quarterback is number 5, Jenkins. Hands off to Clark. Slithers through, tackled by Patrick and Flanagan.
Try and set the backfield for Franklin for you while we can. 44 is Ethan Jackson. Number 30, as you know by now, is David Clark from offense and defense. 5 at the quarterback is Mark Jenkins. 85, Reggie Scott still in. Tackles Ralph Normandy and Marcus Trent at the center.
Jenkins, number 5, calls signals. Hands off inside to Jackson. 44 stopped at the line of scrimmage. Good defense. Tackled there by number 53, Garrett Herb.
And Jenkins got a pop right after that handoff from 41 for the Raiders, and I don't know.
Dave Patrick.
Dave Patrick. Patrick, tough ball player, hard-nosed kid.
Reggie Scott, 85, goes to the sidelines.
Clock ticking down. We've got 7:09 to go in the fourth quarter.
51 over the ball for the Warriors. Trent, he will snap to Jenkins. Jenkins goes to Clark. Clark looks for running room, scoots through the hole, still on his feet, fights for yardage, close to the first down. Hit there by 24, Flanagan.
Take a look at David Clark's run one more time, and Clark shows you why he's going to be a nice young man to have back in the backfield for Franklin next year. On the sidelines.
Linda Migliori talking to Scott Huff, 42. Linda, the trainer here at Hillsborough.
Number 11 in for Franklin is Chris Boyd. He's at the slot position on the right side.
Jenkins, oh, what a mix-up in the backfield. Good defense by Kucera, 31.
As we pointed out, Boyd was in on the play, and he just found out how difficult it is sometimes.
Take a look at Kucera here. Good defensive job. Drew having a good game on defense on about 4 or 5 outstanding plays. Outstanding again. 6:02 to go, fourth period from Hillsborough, where the Franklin Warriors are looking for win number 5 to keep their unbeaten record unblemished. Jenkins fakes the handoff on a naked reverse, goes wide, spins, stays on his feet, still on his feet, gets the first.
Jenkins trying to get around the outside to make some great moves, and finally hauled down to make it about a fourth down and about 7 yards to go. Ball sitting at the 25-yard line, 24-yard line of Hillsborough.
32, Kevin Day over there, along with 81, Keith Goldan. Jenkins at quarterback. Hands off to Clark, 30. Fools nobody on Hillsborough's defense.
Now we'll have a fourth down situation for the Warriors. Lost about 4 yards, 3 yards on the play. It's almost 4th and 10.
Herb.
Excuse me, Mike, go ahead.
Herb, along with number 32, Day, on the tackle.
On the play, 4th and 4 yards.
45 for Franklin and Ricky Schwartz. Number 11 moving to the sidelines, Chris Boyd. Schwartz in the slot on the left side.
It's been all Franklin today. As if you've been with us since the beginning, you know, as Clark looks for running room, bumps into his own man. I want to tell you what, number 70, I got to find out who that is for the Franklin Warriors. That guy had a great block.
On a replay, you see David Clark going over the left side. Really shows some promise as a runner for the Warriors.
That had to be 72. Robert Brent on that block, and I tell you what, he drove his man right out of the picture as you saw on the replay.
Well, Brent is...
Okay, have a quick break here and come back as we have a timeout.
If you want a new drug, gifts, cards, or something for the kids, you'll find them at the Hillsborough Pharmacy located on Route 206 at Amwell Road. We've been providing convenient one-stop shopping in a friendly, familiar atmosphere since 1960. The Hillsborough Pharmacy has everything from aspirin to zinc and, of course, prescriptions. Our computer checks drug history and interactions or provides insurance printouts anytime. Pharmacists Jerry, Tom, and Bob are always available to discuss questions about medicines or personal care products from head to toe. The Hillsborough Pharmacy, your good neighbor pharmacy, celebrating 25 years of service in Hillsborough.
Okay, Cable 8 Sports, there you see the story of the day. Late in the fourth period, 4-13, Franklin Warriors 41, Hillsborough Raiders 7. And the Raiders will have the ball, 1st and 10. It's been all Franklin. Franklin capitalizing on lots of Hillsborough mistakes, as we mentioned plenty of times throughout the broadcast. As you take a look at Lenny Rivers and his assistants, we have a new quarterback in for the Hillsborough Raiders, Jason Reynolds in at quarterback. Handoff inside, as we'll see lots of new jerseys now with 4:07 to go in the game. Not much in question.
We'll try and pick up the names of some of the players who are in there. Number 2 for Franklin is Omar Foster.
The Raiders, you saw number 49, Matt Nee,
and
comes out.
And number 95, David Sanders, freshman for Franklin. Program has him at 6 foot 1 inch, 306 pounds.
Reynolds now the signal caller for the Raiders. Hands off to 30, Sandro Correa, and he rambles for a Hillsborough first.
We'll take a look at the replay on moving to his left.
There you saw Sandro Correa getting his debut here on Channel 8. Traveling for a Hillsborough first down over the ball now for the Raiders. Sean McLaughlin, 51. Reynolds at quarterback, trying to run down some of the Warriors on defense when we can. Handoff inside to Correa. Tackled there by number 2 for the Warriors.
2 is Omar Foster in on the stop. If it was number 2 on the stop, couldn't pick it up, Michael.
Yeah, I think we might have had an assist. We'll give him an assist.
45 is Ricky Schwartz. 95, David Sanders. We're trying to pick some numbers up here real quick. We're in the closing minutes here right now. We have a lot of backup players in the game.
Also in on that hit, Alex Pagnetti, number 14, as Reynolds. Hands off to Correa, who is nailed on the sidelines after a good carry by number 79 of the Franklin Warriors.
Close to the 48-yard line.
Jason Ganella, 79 with the tackle. 2:47 to go in the game. Franklin will go on to win its 5th straight. They will meet North Hunterdon next week. North Hunterdon, 1 loss. They just knocked Piscataway from the ranks of the unbeaten. They will visit Franklin. Their 1 loss to Hillsborough as Reynolds hides the ball and takes a sharp hit on the sidelines from 84, Cornelius Whitaker.
And flags abound. We've got a penalty. We'll wait and see what the call is.
I'm sorry, Bob.
It's an illegal block. It's going to go against Hillsborough. Clip.
Just not Hillsborough's day today. They'll fall to 2 and 3, but they'll be back to play another day. And in this conference, you never know. 1 week, you can't just call it.
Yeah, well, as we said before, they got a tough game coming up next week with Bridgewater East. It's going to be at East. It's an afternoon game for all you Hillsborough fans. And I'll tell you, East is hungry, and it's going to be interesting to see because that's a
key
division game. And the way things are going, folks, who knows who's going to end on top of this division when it's all over and done.
To put it bluntly, to stay in the division, Hillsborough has to win next week because they lost to Voorhees.
Right.
Voorhees lost to Somerville. Reynolds back to pass. Screen. Has his man, drops it.
And Cornelius Whitaker, number 84 for the Warriors, did an outstanding job on the read of the screen and was ready to take that ball carrier on one-on-one.
Matt Nee, the intended receiver, number 49. Chris Muller, you saw number 70 in at tackle for the Hillsborough Raiders. 2:16 to go. Last time we were up in this box, it took a long time for the last 3 minutes to go. And it seems like this last 2 minutes is hanging on.
Yeah, circumstances were a bit different. The point spread was only 1 at that point in time, and Hunterdon was trying to bail out.
There you see Scott Huff on the sidelines as we look at the monitor. As I interrupt my partner for the 12th time here.
It's no problem, Michael.
Reynolds to pass. Deep drop. Oh! You go to the same play, and again, Nee can't handle it. This time a high pass from Reynolds.
14 in for Franklin on that play defensively in Reynolds' face as he was trying to get the ball off. Bear with me, folks. We'll find a number here somewhere.
Alex Pagnetti.
Thank you so much. 95, Sanders out for the Warriors. 63, Craig Daniel in.
Bob Pearson in for Mike Pulowski. I'll see I'm going home.
Oh, if the day seems long, I think Joe Polino thinks it's been a week and one afternoon probably.
Tough day for Joe, but he'll be back. Ball intended, juggled there by number 30, Sandro Correa.
46 for the Warriors, and here we go again one more time. We'll run a number down.
We'll take a look at the replay. Little juggling act. 46, I think, is Tim Gordon for the Warriors.
15, Jerry Miller's going back for the Warriors to receive the kick. 2:04 to go, last quarter. Franklin on top, 41-7.
Matt Nee handling the punt. Snap, kick. Will go to the sidelines. Bounces back towards the middle of the field where it's covered by a Hillsborough Raider quickly. Number 62, and that's Bob Spinelli.
So Franklin will put the ball in play. 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
51 seconds left in the game.
Check that, less than 2 minutes to go in the game. We've got a timeout on Hillsborough.
And we could take a short break or listen to the band play in front of us. Okay, what you saw tells it all. Tough day in Hillsborough.
There's Lenny Rivers on the sideline, shaking hands with Al Small, I believe. Am I right?
Actually, I can't tell.
Me either.
Franklin, I would tell you, without a doubt, ranked number 3 in the state by many of the newspapers. A team with lots of potential. Hillsborough, a good team. A team that's going to beat a lot of teams. Franklin, I don't know if anybody can play up to Franklin's level in the conference. North will give him a good shot next week, I'm sure. I can't wait to see. We've talked about earlier, Bob. Dwayne Grade, the scoring leader, and Mike Thomas, who's right on his tail. The 2 top scoring leaders. They both play running back. They both play linebacker. I can't wait to see them match up against each other.
That's going to be a super, super matchup.
1:51 to go and counting. Handoff by quarterback for the Franklin Warriors. Foster, number 2.
15, I think it was on the carry, Mike, and that's Jerry Miller. He's a 6 foot, 147-pound sophomore.
Omar Foster now in at quarterback, directing the Franklin attack. Hands off inside. Again, lots of running room.
And once again, Jerry Miller on the carry. And time is winding down. 1:15 to go in this game. And it's always good to see the reserves get in when they get a chance. And boy, they're anxious, even though the game's out of sight. This is their chance to...
Foster hands off inside, has room, lots of running room. Number 44 for the Franklin Warriors, Ethan Jackson, the ball carrier. He brings the ball down to about the 15 with a good run.
Take a look at this one more time. Foster hands off to Jackson, 44, and Ethan does a great job moving the ball downfield. We saw Ethan's been in the game earlier. He played defense in the secondary for the Warriors, so he's not a new name.
New name on offense. Franklin very deep at running back, to say the least.
And they take it and they kill the ball right there. Lenny Rivers says, let's knock off the time and get out of here. 41-7. Nice move by Lenny.
2 of the class coaches meeting here in the Mid-State Conference. Len Rivers of the Franklin Warriors. Joe Polino, longtime coaches, good friends, good rivalry.
Right. Yeah, they are, and they do have a lot of respect for one another. And we've seen Lenny and Joe off the field together. And They get along very well together, and they are probably two coaches that are outwardly spoken about their concern for the kids in the game, not just the score of how the games come out.
And that'll do it as the clock runs out. The Franklin Warriors defeating the Hillsborough Raiders by the score of 41-7. And as the crowd starts to head for the exits, we'll take a timeout and come back to wrap it up.
Flemington National Bank and Trust Company.
Touchdowns on the day. Eddie Daniels had an interception, one back for a touchdown. Scoring for the Raiders was Pete Tardy on a pass from Dominic Blandino, but it was all Franklin.
No doubt about it. Franklin really showing that they're hitting mid-season form right now as we're competing with the Hillsborough band. Big game next week. Cable 8's going to bring it to you. North Hunterdon Lions, Franklin Warriors. Big showdown in the Delaware at this point in time. Both clubs on their way to state playoff positions.
Okay, for Bob Pearson and the Channel 8 crew, I'm Mike Pulowski saying see you next week. The big game. Until then, take care and God bless. Goodbye, everybody.